Okay, welcome to Mori episode 39. I'm here with Qbhall and special guest Karim from Metaphor Games. He's working on Celestial Return as a dev.
Hello.
Anyway. So, today we'll be talking about his game. He also has a band, a metal band, like an alien metal band, something like that. Never heard of myself, but hey, I mean, why not? Yeah, let me show some. Yeah. So, how do you came to the game itself?
Yeah. So, yeah, the band. Actually, we are not making heavy metal. It's it's called slam metal.
Oh,
So, yeah.
okay. I mean, and the game Celestial Return. How do you
Mhm.
came to that idea?
Actually, it was my um, master's degree project in
Mm,
3 years ago, like that. Then I drew a manga like comic called Celestial Return,
mm,
and I I'm really fan of Nihei's, Biomega Blame. Then I wanted to create like his works. So
mm-hmm.
and also I like playing games. Then
Yeah,
I thought that I need to I uh, in comics I can't make money in drawing comics because in,
yeah.
it's really hard to draw all the stuff by yourself and sell it. So I
Mm-hmm.
I thought we need to make a game called
Yeah,
Celestial Return, not a comic. So uh,
yeah.
I switched to that idea, and also I told to my friends, let's make a game
Mm-hmm.
as an indie studio. So we uh, mixed some ideas together, and now we have a writer. It's a different job.
Mm-hmm.
She is Whiplash. She's our writer actually,
Yeah.
and now we have some other drawers, 3D artists,
Mm-hmm.
voice actors, like that. So we are now a functional in the studio.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, yeah. I mean, the art so far looks pretty well done for the characters
Thank
and
you.
little emotions like bloodlust, intellectual, etc., etc. Looks
Mhm.
interesting. The
Thank
rest
you.
of
I
the world,
also sorry.
yeah. I mean, yeah. No, go on.
I also like SCPs, so I
Oh,
wanted to add some SCP stuff. And uh, in in the game, you encounter. I think uh, you can see some creatures like uh, otherworldly creatures.
yeah. The
And we call
ghosts and
them,
other apparitions.
yeah, we call them abstracts, and
No,
actually they are SCPs. And
yeah.
so yeah, we I add SCPs to a soup called
Mm,
Celestial Return, and I add
mm,
some cyborgs from Nikkei stuff, and I add
mm.
Hellboy's vibrated, colorful uh, look to that soap, and I just mixed it together. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
He
called Celestial
also,
Return.
Also took some inspiration from a certain movie that's really popular. Like, especially if you look at if you're walking in the city, it's really showing. Uh, I'm forgetting the damn movie. What was the name
uh,
of the game?
Blade Runner,
Blade
maybe.
Runner, obviously. Yeah. Blade
Yeah,
Runner, yeah. And
yeah, of course.
yeah,
Mhm.
and the guy in the alley is a bit more like what would you call it? Cyberpunk, bit of those kind of
Mhm.
guys, just completely souped up, etc. etc. Yeah, you have a lot of those things in it, and obviously here the cyborg stuff is like more like from Blame. Obviously, you can see
Mhm.
some panels that have this kind of stuff going on, like you know the major AI that's in Cave 13, etc. etc.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I guess the silo is a bit more like a blame environment, and the world is more like your standards sci-fi stuff. I actually played the demo,
Mhm. Mhm.
went through it. Like it looked kind of interesting. It run really slow on my computer because my computer is not that good at all, so that was a bit difficult to run it. But and I also saw a few bugs, like the characters don't want to run around in the city or get stuck on one of these lines in the city.
It's
It's an early
interesting.
game, obviously. Mm, that's a bit,
Some
yeah.
sometimes they are stopping because you are encountering some randoms. Uh,
Hmm.
did you play any fantasy role play setting before,
Not really. I'm
like
not really
D&D?
of the dice games. Not really. So.
Hmm. So there are some random encounters in D&D and
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Bit like
some
Pokemon.
yeah, yeah. So we add it to our game. So sometimes play characters are stopping and hearing some voices, and they are actually random encounters. But it can be a bug. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
it can be a random encounter too. I need to
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
Actually, I need to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I only had like the characters being stuck on one of those lines. I don't really want to move forward for whatever
Hmm.
reason, or maybe the random encounter didn't really work. That could also be a
Hmm.
thing, but yeah, I don't know. It's like just little things that just pop up really, but beyond that, it worked fine for me at least. Not too many things. And
Hmm.
how do you came to the name Celestial Return?
Uh, it's a tricky one. uh, Actually, there are some alien races in our Celestial Return universe. So
Mm-hmm.
they want some privileges. Uh, so they are hiding in the dark forest in universe, in space. We called
Mm-hmm.
like it's a dark forest,
Uh-huh.
and if you make some noise in a dark forest, or if you make a light or something like that, if they saw you, or if they hear you,
Mm-hmm.
you will be there in that dark
Mm.
forest.
Yeah.
So humans are making noises in space. Humans
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
making some light shows in space. So in a dark forest, some primal beings, some predators are waiting to
Yeah.
catch you.
Bit H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah. So Katratsu, the cyborgs, and the other. It will be a spoiler, so I can say that. But
Mm.
the other races are waiting to catch us, and
Yeah.
some people on Earth are thinking like they are gods, they are celestial beings. Let us pray to them, the
Yeah.
aliens. So they are thinking like they are celestials and they are returning. So it's like that. It's the origin of the name, you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. Uh, let me grab your sites real quick. Yeah, so you also have a Kickstarter,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe.
yeah.
Does
We
that
need to make. Sorry.
yeah, does that work well, or does that really get people going?
Uh, Actually, we are working with another company. They are
Mm,
Kickstarter veterans, and they called Metis Creative. And actually, we we are not understanding the mechanics of Kickstarter. It's a different category. We
mm-hmm,
understand making games, and we are. I think that we are good at it. But in Kickstarter, we don't know anything about it. So
mm-hmm,
they will make the Kickstarter campaign for us because
mm.
I don't know the right marketing choices for it or the right uh, blah blah. The right
Yeah, yeah,
things to
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
You just
You
don't know
know,
how it really works, so yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, 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 okay. Okay,
So
okay, okay.
we need some money to the
Get really going.
making the game. Because we are 10 people.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's just a small
yeah,
team. Yeah,
so
yeah.
we have not investor right now. We are making contacts actually, but no deals or something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we need some money, and we
Yeah,
want
yeah,
some
yeah.
support from
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Kickstarter
yeah.
people.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it will also link it obviously in the description. Also did that with the Steam, so that will be nice. And your team also made the site, or did it another company also do that?
uh, sorry, sorry, I didn't understand.
Did you make the site or somebody else?
Actually, I made it.
Oh, okay. I mean, looks pretty solid so far. It's just it's really easy. But
Thank you.
yeah, the inspirations. Like, how did you came to blame and Biomecha? His works.
Actually, I don't remember, but uh, so yeah. In my master's degree, I have a teacher called Korkut something. I don't remember
Mm,
his surname, and he is a comic artist.
mm.
Actually, he drew a chapter for what's the name? Robocop. Robocop. Yeah, Robocop.
Ah.
Yeah, he is really good at it, and
Mm.
he told me there is a manga called Blame, and I think
Mm,
you like it. Check it out.
mm.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Nice. Okay.
so my
Nice. Nice.
teacher
Nice.
sent me the link, and I checked it, and it's amazing. And
Yeah.
I am also showing the Nihei's work to my students right now. Yeah.
Spreading the good word, obviously. I mean, if you really want to do something in like architecture or like comics, then it's a good place to start. I think. Well, for more the abstract comic makers, I guess he's a good start for that. Not for the normal ones, because yeah, in the beginning he made almost no money and had almost no fans for the manga. He all originally wanted to stop at like volume 1 because nobody really wanted to read it, but it got a cult following over the years and it got better and better and better at it. And
I
obviously
think there
also,
is a cult right now, a Nihei cult.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Also on Discord and the subreddit, I moderate. So yeah, no, it became pretty big over the years. It's like it's not a small community or relatively small community anymore. It gets people around. I mean, even PewDiePie knows about it, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, a lot of people know about it nowadays.
yeah.
And other inspirations, what other things you were inspired by? Put it in.
Um, Actually, I really like Hellboy and
Mm.
Mike Mignola, and I
Mm.
think he's a really good artist because he has a style of like the his drawings are like caricatures, but not. You know,
Mm.
it's some kind
Okay.
of a fusion of caricatures and adult comics, and I really like Mike Mignola's colors and bold blacks in his uh, panels in
Mm.
his comics.
Mm. Mm.
Also,
Mm.
McKean from Sandman. Wait a second,
Mm.
Dave McKean, yeah.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Dave
Cool.
McKean is a really inspiring artist for me. He is using a mixed technique. It's not like the other ones. It's he is not inking stuff. He's
Mm.
using a mixed technique. He is collaging some photographs. He is
Yeah.
making doodles on it.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
really
Yeah.
it's really vibrant, and it has his works are his works has a contrast actually. So
Mm.
yeah, the other inspirations are yeah, Dave McKean and Mike Mignola. Yeah.
Mm. You also said Berserk.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I actually didn't read Berserk, but
Oh.
I'm analyzing the panels, and
Mm.
uh, also I didn't watch the anime because I
Oh.
didn't like it actually.
Oh. Like which version? Like the earlier ones or like the late ones?
The earlier ones, I think. I don't remember.
Oh, from the 90s or like from the 2000s?
Mm, I don't remember the 19s.
Mm.
Actually, probably I don't remember right now. But
Mm.
the anime is not for me. But manga and the
Mm.
panels and the emotions on the characters and the body poses are actually really good in manga. But as I said before, I didn't uh, read it. I analyzed every panel, so I don't know
Mhm.
the story, but I really good with the panels, the drawings.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay,
I
okay,
just
okay.
wanted to say I definitely see the Magnola
Mhm,
appreciation in the art for your game.
mhm, mhm.
And well, all the art is really incredible, and I definitely see all the other
Yeah, thank you.
influences mentioned too. Blade Runner, Blam. I think the wordlessness of Blam or blame or however you want to say it, I think is something that really
Well,
helps it across a lot of borders. Um,
Mhm.
because I'm from Trinidad. We speak English, but it's not it's not a problem for anybody almost to pick it up and get into it because there's and even the words, do the words even make it any more clear? I'm not sure. Maybe they make it more confusing. But yeah, So I mean, yeah, the game is definitely shaping up to look incredible. The so I know a lot of people when they're making games, they made a smaller game before. Is that the case for this one, or did you like jump directly into the deep end of making a game uh, basically to sell, a commercial game?
Actually, I was working on an MMO called Evil Stone Online before I was the concept artist. This is not my first game, but this is our first game with Metaphor
Ah,
Games. So yeah,
Hmm.
I'm not a veteran in the industry, but I worked some games before. Yeah. Uh, yeah, an MMO and ARPG like Diablo, Path of Exile. Uh, yeah, I
so
was the concept artist before.
Hmm.
okay, so these are these are games that you work with for other companies.
Uh, no, actually, I was working for someone before, and then I created my own company to make Celestial Return. And this is our dream project, and this is our first one.
Ah, okay. Is there any game that in terms of gaming, we talk about the visuals, but is there any other games
Mhm,
that people
mhm.
would be more familiar with that you draw particular inspiration from for this game, for your game, so that they maybe get an idea as to what it's gonna be like?
Okay, okay. Yeah, from visually we talked that, but from perspective of game mechanics, we the biggest inspiration for us, of course, it's from Disco Elysium and Citizen Sleeper. Uh, we actually the game was a visual novel before the Celestial Return, and we think that we won't make any money with a visual novel, so
Hmm.
we changed the game mechanics and we add a skill system and some dice system. Sorry,
Yeah.
dice system. Sorry, I didn't remember the right word.
Hmm.
Then we changed the game to an RPG, Disco Elysium
Hmm.
like RPG. So yeah, the inspiration for the game is Disco Elysium. It's and
Hmm.
Season Sleeper and Shadowrun. I don't know. Did you uh,
Ah, sure.
play
Well,
Shadowrun?
I'm familiar with the classic, the the Sega Genesis version is what I'm familiar with, not the tabletop version. But I know it takes place in a cyberpunk world where there's also magic. Uh, from what I understand, yeah. So okay, all right. I think people will like yeah. Definitely put Shadowrun in the tag because I think people are gonna like that. You know.
Yeah, 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 definitely.
Yeah, that's and oh, you mentioned the Dark Forest theory. I think that is interesting too because I don't know if you're familiar with the media. I guess it's like kind of like a media franchise now. Three Body Problem.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. I recently watched it, and actually, it's a really good series. And I
yeah.
didn't
Yeah. What's
read
season
the
one, two?
yeah, I didn't read the book actually, but the
Hmm.
series are. I think it's really good.
Did you watch the American or the Chinese version?
American version
Yeah, because I
on
know the
Netflix.
Chinese version is really long, like double the episodes and more and
Right.
more
Well,
dialogue,
Mm.
so it gets a
I
bit
mean,
lost, I guess.
I don't mean to be that guy, but well, the book. Y- Maybe if you give the book a chance, when you get a chance, it's not necessarily the most easy read, but I'll be interested to see what they have to say about the upcoming seasons when the scale. Uh, I don't want to give away too much, but the scale of the series gets exponentially bigger. And yeah, I think so. These are uh, yeah, just the idea of the Dark Forest theory is definitely something you should put to in your marketing because people gonna. That is actually the name of the second book in the series.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, so yeah, that's so the activity of the humans drew aliens to Earth, right? In this in this or is it just aliens or is it supernatural beings too?
The cyborgs are normal aliens actually. They are just
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
cyborgs, and the other ones, the abstracts, are actually um, anomalies. We are
Mm-hmm.
not calling them like supernatural beings, because
Easy
if
peasy.
you called, it's not like a magic or something like that. They are anomalies. We are saying that they are anomalies. So
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
Mm-hmm.
it actually kind of reminds me of like some people think aliens are really uh interdimensional creatures. That is like one thing. I mean, I mentioned SCP, so I'm sure you're
Mhm,
familiar with like a lot of conspiracy theories and rabbit holes and stuff. Oh, they're not really aliens. They're interdimensional beings, or they are. It's interesting that I call them anomalies because like this is something that I often kind of get into with people. Uh, like if something is outside of our universe, uh, and it follows, let's say, different rules, in a way that would be supernatural, in a way, because it's outside of
mhm.
this universe that we take as natural. Then, if that makes sense, I don't know if that's kind of the line that you walk in here.
Mhm,
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
And you also on a band, Devoured Elysium.
Yeah.
So how did that game to be?
uh, so I was playing drums in uh, elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Then I wanted to create music for my life, and
Mm-hmm.
for making money, and I was really a dreamer. And
Mm-hmm.
then reality slaps me hard.
Uh-huh.
then
I can make
then
money on this stuff.
yeah, then yeah, this is our guitars, and this is me,
Yeah, this yeah. Okay.
yeah, this is me too. Actually, I cut my hair, but yeah, this is
Mm.
my prime. Then
Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool.
yeah, and yeah, this is my hobby. It's not a big thing. We are making our third album
Mm.
via an American music label called Gorals Productions. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we have a music video in YouTube. It's called
Mm.
Deus Ex Machina. Uh,
Mm. I know that.
yeah, it's yeah, it's a movie cliche. uh,
Yeah, and
yeah,
in what language do you sing then? In
English,
English or in like
English,
Turkish?
English.
English. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
It also will be here in the Netherlands, in Arnhem, like in a
yeah,
month or
yeah.
something.
In next March, we are coming to your country to
Okay.
perform our music.
Cool,
So
cool, cool, cool,
everyone
cool,
is
cool.
invited. Uh, yeah, you can come and headbang with us, and we we can drink some Dutch beer.
Yeah,
So
why not? Why not?
yeah, it will be fun actually. And yeah, we are screaming, and it's hard to get in to that music. I know that, but
Yeah,
I think it's fun.
I mean, as long as you have fun, that's all that counts, really. I mean, yeah, it
Mhm.
really looks like a metal, like a metal band. So far, like all the art and all the you know,
Actually, I illustrated the all art stuff.
all
You
the
know,
covers. Ah,
yeah,
okay, okay,
the
real
cover.
nightmares. Huh?
Yeah.
Does also have that inspirations, or just like whatever you could find, and then based on that.
Actually, this is a really different style from the Celestial Returns,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it looks really different. Yeah.
yeah, it's real different. The most influential artist for me actually Beksinski.
Ah, Beksinski. Nice,
Yeah,
nice,
yeah,
nice, nice. He was also inspired by him, so it makes a lot of
yeah.
sense.
And I like the alien stuff, the low crafting creatures. So
Mm-hmm. Born probably.
yeah, so yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
cool.
These are some flavors from our concerts and some yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, you can see in Blame and So On's art book that, the cover, like a lot of his stuff was like Wyszynski stuff. And even in Blame himself, you can see a lot of stuff that's directly from his work. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. He would take that over. Have you read anything of his latest work or like beyond Biomecha?
Uh, Actually, I didn't because I don't have too much time to read some, some stuff because I'm working on a university, as I said before, and I
Mm-hmm.
need to read too much essay.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, to be on the rail, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can't read some books or comics recently.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading the essays about video games and
Mhm,
illustration and concepts
mhm, mhm,
recently. So yeah, but I definitely check Biomega because I analyzed some illustrations, some panels
mhm,
from it,
mhm.
and I actually started to read. But yeah, I need some. I need to create some time.
Yeah, it's not the easiest work because, you have to also read it over and over to really get the story, and he didn't really care if his audience really understood what was being put down in a plot. So later on with like Sidonia, he cared more about that to really make something commercially work than just, make a story and just draw whatever he wants, basically. He did back in the day, but like his best works really. So before that, then later on, it got a bit too simple. Like his latest works are really simpler. Yeah, I would do. Like now he's working on an fantasy work called Tower Dungeon. That's really in a fantasy setting, but also has some throwbacks to to his older works. Or
I didn't check his latest stuff, but yeah, I definitely do that.
Yeah, it's pretty good so far. It's like 12 chapters right now, so it's like a chapter a month. It's like, and he has also more his black bags, and he's more his architecture and like all the stuff you used from him. But it's definitely way more, simpler drawn, more less detailed, basically. But it has its action, it has its mystery, it has his stuff. So yeah, I would recommend it. It's like just a kind of a light-ish fantasy, you could say. It's not berserk levels or like any of the art you do, basically. So yeah,
Yeah,
and
you said Knights of Sidonia, right?
yeah, this is older work from like 2019 and 2009. I mean,
Okay, okay, I definitely check that.
it's not. It's like his longest work. It's like 15 volumes. So I don't know if you have time for that. It's he tried to make it way simpler than his other works, basically way simpler than Biomecha, Blame, Abra, etc., etc., etc. So it's a bit more generic. It's like, you have the
Hmm.
main hero trying to save everybody, all the girls falling on him, etc., etc., etc. Like the usual tropes get in there. Like
Yeah.
his story and architecture is still in there because it's NIE, but
Hmm.
it's not as not as interesting as the other stuff. Have
Hmm.
you ever read Abra, or have never had time for it?
Actually, I didn't read it, but some scenes are really famous in Pinterest, and
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
so
true, 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 true. It's like
yeah,
the like the 1 second battles. You can just take out anybody. Yeah,
yeah.
and they also made recently some figures from Abra from ex-employees of Thousand Toys.
Hmm.
Abra, the
Mhm. Yeah, but is looking really nice, and uh, yeah, it's really Nihei.
yeah. It's really early news. Like it's body horror and it's
Yeah.
transformations. It's battles. It's going over the top of everything. Yeah, these are two figures that they recently shipped out. I got mine already. All both.
Hmm.
You can just
Nice.
basically action figures. You can just put swords on them, put them in different positions, different hands, heads, whatnot. Well, not different heads, but you get what I mean. It's pretty damn nice. Also, kind of expensive to get, but it's really worth it. Still being sold, but yeah, they're really awesome to have with the other stuff. I'm a bit of a Nie nut, you could say, of practically everything he has ever put out. Basically, sometimes even double series, like Blame have like 4 times now or something like that, from like the old versions in the smaller volumes to the master editions to yeah, a lot basically. Like also the OVA, no, the ONAs from 2003, the logs. If you ever heard about that, you made a little animation about it,
uh,
stuff like that.
yeah. So you are collecting the physical stuff too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
really good, really good.
Mm. We also made like a month ago or something for Toei Heavy Industries or Discord. Chapter 1. So everybody was made a page for chapter 1 of Biomecha. And so let me show you then everything real quick. Mm.
Or is I just wanted to say it's interesting that apart from crossing all kinds of borders, Blame also inspiring not just other comics, but I mean video games too. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, here's all the pages that everybody made
Mm.
for like 3 months. Like some people made like stuff in like the last 9 hours or something like that. Well, they
Hmm.
had like 3 months to do this, but hey, you get you know
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
a
fun
good
for us
community
to do
activity. Yeah,
something. Hmm?
it's a really good community activity. Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, just get people together, see different kinds of art styles. Like some are really like more advanced. Like this guy, for instance, he really knows how to capture something from NIE. This
Hmm.
guy, it's like also really really nice. Actually, it's like really the shadows, the
Hmm.
contours, the hair, all that
Yeah,
kind of
the
stuff.
this one is actually this is a first page or something like that, right?
Yeah. It's in the early
Yeah.
chapter. Yeah. The first chapter when they were on Mars meeting
Hmm.
the girl.
Yeah.
And you see
Yeah,
later on.
It's like
Burst of
Ni-
Gucci.
Ni- Nihei doesn't have like a huge amount of fans, but the fans that he does have are like obsessed.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, like
I mean, it's way more than it was back then. Obviously, back then it's like almost nobody, especially in Japan, because it doesn't really look Japanese. It looks more European or like stuff you would see in the West than anything in Japan. It's like, and there's also no
yeah, you know.
manga that really does stuff like this.
Well,
Mhm.
that's
This
what I
kinds of
think.
world building and other stuff.
I think that's part of the appeal, because it's. I mean, it looks handmade, even though a lot of it, he didn't start off digital, right? He started off
No,
traditional,
no, no, no. He
yeah,
started by hand for a long time,
right.
but he wanted to
But
go to digital because and black was also really time consuming, so that was also pretty difficult.
I see. He should have do it in reverse then. He should have draw with white, start with black pages, and draw with white. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like, eh,
But yeah,
I mean, we can't really go back and tell him
I
that,
don't
like,
know
oh
what.
yeah, you should actually do that. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Why would I listen to you? Don't even know you. Like, it
Yeah,
wouldn't
I think.
really work.
Interestingly, I think that's what they did in Batman. The backgrounds were painted on black paper, so they had. I guess they had less work to do. And like
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah. I guess you wouldn't get really the same style out of it, or it would just look a little bit different. I don't know how he would have made it. Maybe it would look totally different, obviously, with the whites in it. You would never know how we really would have done that, but that's like the style, of the Japanese just going
but what
on black and white usually.
but what do you think of his
Color was
what do you think of his newer works? A lot of people they don't really like the change in that style. How it's a little more clean now. It's a little more
yeah,
simplified.
yeah, yeah. It's less detailed. It's less, but it still has some details. If you really brought back the black, the shadows, whatnot in the structures, then you can really see the difference in the details he works on it. But like for him, was black was really time consuming and really lots of efforts just to get it done. Like if he had to do it every month, then like yeah, it's a big job to really get something done. But yeah, so that's why he wants to do white, and he doesn't have a assistant, so he can just change whenever he wants,
Yeah,
basically.
imagine assistants asking him questions about, oh, why is there like a bird skeleton in this like one shot and never again, and it's never explained. What is this? What are we making? You know, you don't want to answer any of these tough
Yeah,
questions.
yeah, it's in like an Abra. There's like a certain point that they come in a room in a house, go on the ground, and he says like, "Oh yeah, this was the chamber of a king. Was it important chamber for the city? No, it's just some random dude that want to be buried here, and then just move on, and you get never mentioned about it again. He just wrote random stuff. He just puts in just to fill up space, really." Or you like the first chapter of Blame, like flying mental race in the back, and it doesn't make any sense. And like, does that to do? And you never see that again. And you're like, why? Like,
Why not? He wanted to draw manta rays that day. It's as
so he
simple
just
as
did
that.
for like one time. That
You
makes
know.
no sense. Or like, I don't know. Or people go
But
big
you know
on
what?
like,
He
yeah,
probably just had like a totally unrelated page where he was drawing some manta rays, and he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna put this in here. I'll just add the bling guys on top of it. Uh,
yeah. The
I ain't feeling
main
super.
thing just came after. It's just an afterthought. I'm
Yeah,
like,
and
also in Blame is like, you have also this one scene that they go with Demo, they go in even further on the ground, they find a room. It's like a room that the builders brought up sometimes of like before the mecha structure was really a thing. And Demo has a pen cap, lays it on the table, doesn't really understand what it is, and just like a relic from a forgotten time, and then lots of people are questioning like, what is that thing? What is it for? And they go into this whole rabbit hole of like what it is, and like yada yada. I'm like, no, it's just a pen cap. If you just take your head closer to the page, or just zoom in online, and you would see it's a pen cap. I don't know. It's just get so many of these questions on the goddamn Discord. Like it's a bit annoying, but whatever. It's like you've always these fans that don't really, yeah. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. It's not really important at all. But you
Yeah,
know,
you see, this is part of why I think it kind of has to be a singular work. Bringing in somebody else is just they're gonna ask questions. They're gonna. These are the kind of things you could only come up with when you're locked in a room alone, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're just coming up with shit.
yeah.
You know,
Uh,
and I
yeah,
mean, it seems random, but at the same time, it has struck a chord with so many people. So he must be doing something right.
yeah,
If that makes sense.
yeah. This is my page, by the way. Just the bear is just growling and whatnot because it's a bear. He doesn't talk because it's a bear. Needs to be there. So well, that was fun to do.
Your panel came out great though. That's good. I didn't get
Like,
go
yeah,
through
I
all
want to
that.
do some color like the original. It's just black and white. I'm like, it's a bear. And
Mhm.
obviously, it's brown. It has all kinds of colors into it. So, I can't draw guns for shit because, I never draw guns ever. So, fuck if I know how to do it. So, you know.
I mean, look, yeah. Well, you deeply into comics, right, Kerem? So you know guys like Liefeld, Rob Liefeld,
Yeah.
Mhm.
kind of a super influential artist couldn't seem to draw feet,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, definitely, yeah. Sometimes you can't draw something and you accept it.
Yeah, you
So
just
Yeah.
draw
yeah,
something else over it. Or you can draw eyes. Or you just draw hair over it. So you don't have to draw
yeah,
it. And
yeah,
that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Sometimes I think deficiencies lead to a particular style that people actually like
yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely.
like Simpsons. I hear Simpsons guy Matt Groening. He always drew people with a overbite. I guess that was a deficiency that he had, and that was like iconic. You know, kind of a
It
thing.
creates a
Like
style. It creates a style with time. If you can't draw something and you are covering it with something, as Mars said before, yeah, and
like
and it's now your style.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
ah, Todd McFarlane. Oh man, I don't have time for this anatomy. Look, just black it out, all right? Just cover it with a cape, or black it out, and we'll call it
Yeah,
atmosphere. That is the thing.
Yeah. And
We'll
especially for
call it
blame
atmosphere.
stuff, you need to, black out the whole page. So I just had to go online, open some program, and just, you know, put the brightness down, put the shadows down, everything down, just to get really like a feel of like, it's blame, or else it's Biomac, or else it looks, if you really just draw it with regular pencils, it just looks way too bright. Just doesn't work. So yeah, blacking it
I,
doesn't really work if you want to draw near stuff or just anything. Also
I
with
think
color, but you know.
I think the style of blame works particularly good for that story. Maybe some of the other stories, they wanted to like Tower Dungeon. There's a lot of outside places, a lot of big open cavernous spaces. So maybe a different style is better there. You know,
Mm.
the scratchy style of blame. I think it adds to the grittiness of the world, the randomness of it. Like what I thought was interesting was that it was so hand drawn and handmade feeling. Yet it was being built blindly by machines. But you would think that a machine would make this thing neat. It would make it modern and neat. But then there's like a medieval looking house over there. And like a
Yeah,
you
it's
know
just built whatever. It's just like just on autopilot and just builds whatever is in the area and just puts a pillar here, puts a room here, puts a bridge there, and just and then the people just build something there and do something there, and you just get all these kind of areas just being built, and the people in those areas have no clue how big the structure is, and they think, oh, it's only that big. Like it's like an ant or like a squirrel in a park. The squirrel has no clue how big the park is, and there's a whole world out there. So it's kind of like that. It's like they just have no clue how big their own world is anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like I guess it's like a cancer, just growing out of control. The world the world are blaming.
Yeah,
Just going off the rails.
yeah. Speaking of blame, I also shared scanned in blame squared. Like don't know if I said it last time, but didn't show the pages, I guess. Like the after story of blame, basically. Like what said, what came after the blame concluded. Like Kitty saved the mech structure, got control back, and then we follow like a Silicon Life, like the eighth generation of pencil, basically, like the eighth model. And this is then like the early version of this in a magazine, Mandala, in 2008, before the Gag One volume came out, basically. But it's also completely in color. Like, and you see, obviously, like, lots of darks and the really saturated color, but even in Gag One, it's even more saturated. It was already online, but I wanted to rescan it in because, it had watermarks on it, and, it just, then it's just a tad better, and it's just having nothing, so, like,
This one is translated to.
Yeah, it's been translated like 10 years ago or something like that. It's already been translated. It's all manga decks already, so you can just read it there. It's just the original thing that came out back in the day.
Okay, it's weird. I never really thought of them afterwards. I thought, all right, these guys are done. They've done enough.
I mean, just one shot that just goes a bit over. It's still fake, obviously. It doesn't really make that much sense. Kitty's in this one too. Saving the
Yeah,
day, obviously. Saving the girl. I mean,
I
she
mean,
do be
look,
cute,
he
so it
doesn't
makes sense.
know. He doesn't even know what's going on in Blade. I don't think so.
No, I'm like, it does, it's just a show, don't tell. It's like the characters know more than we do, so like they don't tell everything because they don't have to, because there's no audience watching. But even they don't really know everything of their world because everything, so much is lost of the old world, and even in their own world, lots of stuff is lost. So in the beginning, he didn't even know about the administration, Kitty, and you would like think like he walks for thousands of years and he doesn't know about it, and then at some point he knows about it. It's kind of weird, obviously, but it was his first manga, so like you know.
Yeah, but to be honest, I don't think he ever got much clearer. You know, uh, there's always like
Sidonia got way simpler, and like Kaina got Great Snow Sea got really simple. It's like it's about the simple you can get with Nie, so
yeah. I think
he
he's
got a
trying
way more
to.
easier than back in the day.
I think he was trying to make something more mainstream.
Mm.
With Sidonia and Kaina. Is that
Mm-hmm.
correct? Kaina. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think they quite work out. That although I know a lot of people love Sidonia, and I mean it had like a series. Like you can't really make a series like Blade. How are you going to get people to watch this? They, we're just watching like a guy walk around. What is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like even with the most quote unquote conventional one that they tried to make on Netflix. I don't know who liked it because, like, I mean, I think it's interesting. Visually it's interesting, but the Blame fans didn't really like it because it's not like the comic, and regular people didn't really like it because maybe it was too much like the comic. What's going on? Who's
Hmm.
this guy? We just dumped into this world kind of, and there's a lot of unknowns, and is a mainstream audience gonna accept that? You know,
Yeah,
it's hard.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
probably a
It's a
hard sell.
gamble, obviously, but
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, and he also made his first interview for Tower Dungeon like a few days ago. Like in all things in a woman's what lifestyle magazine for some reason. Like us NIE fans are gonna find it in that, but he did
Well, I
for
mean,
some
you
reason.
did find it. Uh, you know.
I mean,
Um.
I found it on Twitter by the editor from Sidonia was retweeting it, so that's how I know it. Not that I
No.
randomly do it, but yeah, and it's also people also in the middle of translating this thing. It's already been translated, or like translate, but it's not also the most accurate thing ever. But basically, what he
Right.
says in this, that he is happy that he can finally do fantasy. He was being a fantasy fan for a long time, and like a bit explaining about the plot and like going over it. I mean, it's only 12 chapters. He can only talk so much about the stuff, but yeah, it's
I I do think there's gonna be a science fiction twist though. And remember, I predicted that about um Kaina also. Uh, I don't think he could get away from it. Even if it's not science fiction in the traditional sense, there's gonna be something sciencey about it because there's just too much weird shit going on. I mean, there's the half dragon, the half form dragon, and the
yeah,
all the bodies around. What is this? Like, and even the tower dungeon itself is a big floating. It seems like a spaceship. You know,
yeah. I
it's
mean, the
all
problem is like all the stones and bricks don't really make sense for like a
yeah,
spaceship. So
yeah.
that's
I'm
the
saying that
problem
that
with
is.
that, obviously. But
I am saying that is all like just an artifice. Like
just a
some
cover
people
up.
think that. Yeah, some people think that aliens. Yeah, like the most famous alien, the Greys. Some people think if you think about evolution, what are the odds that a far distant race of creatures would evolve to look kind of close to humans? What do you think of that? It seems kind of stupid if you think about it that way. But I don't know if this. Well, you could tell me what you think. Some people think that they are the emissaries of the real aliens, because if the real aliens showed up, people would be even more frightened, you know. It would be like
Yeah, I
a
mean, we
angel
really,
kind of
really
a thing.
couldn't really handle it with all the guns we have, obviously, and then we shoot already at the stupidest stuff. We already have a lot of problems, so I don't think
Now,
we'll be ready for aliens to coming at on his doorstep, especially with all the movies we have seen of like, aliens coming to Earth destroy us. Like, how many movies do we have? Like, the aliens are actually good. Like, not that many, especially not the well-known ones. Most of them are just like kill us. Like
yeah,
War of the Worlds is like the earliest example of like something mainstream that really did that.
yeah. One plot point in a lot of alien movies is the aliens coming to steal the resources of us. What do you think of that? When I think of that, I think like, wait, isn't space like freaking infinite? There's nothing that Earth has in terms of like
I
elements,
mean, yeah, water, earth, alcohol, whatnot. You could get just mine it from space. Like, why do you need us specifically to get it from? But yeah,
Now,
they're like easy movies. They don't really think about harvesting meteorites or like clusters or rather dead planets or whatnot for minerals. They don't really think that deep about it. That's the problem with those movies, obviously.
yeah. So you tell me an invasion force, an entire invasion force of aliens is easier to do than just like a mining force, just like a
Yeah,
couple.
yeah. I mean, you have lots of works that do that nowadays. Obviously, they're trying to fix like time travel in movies. Like you see now, it's like they explain time travel as like it's not a straight line. It just goes from if you go back to a past and you go to a different timeline, and that becomes your present, and then you get a new future, and that just branches off each time. So. Like old movies like Terminator 1 just don't make any sense, but it's a B movie, so
Yeah, but then,
yeah, or like, Back to the Future, that kind of stuff.
your timeline that you came back from to save is still screwed, right?
Yeah, I mean, that still happened, yeah, but you're just not a part of it. You just made a new timeline and you made your own future, basically. So you're just not saving your old timeline. That's still fucked. Only you have a chance to save another
Yeah,
timeline. But
yeah.
that's all theoretical stuff, and it's also in fiction, but eh.
I always thought about that. Like, imagine the guys on the other side of the who stayed back then. They'd be like, wait, he's not actually going to save us. Either he's going to make a new timeline, right, that doesn't affect us in any way, or he's going to change the timeline, and then none of us would exist at all. Which one is worse?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, I mean,
don't think about it too much. Look, just go with it. Just go with it. All right.
yeah. Absolute cinema. Like, I never thought like an Abra Denchi could have Wolverine claws, but apparently this figure has just Wolverine claws for it. I mean, I saw in one page that he kind of like has protrusions from his hands, but not complete Wolverine claws. But it's a nice addition. I mean, you know.
And this is our official product, right?
Yeah, this from test. This is my two figures I got recently, like a week ago.
Have you ever got any? I haven't looked too much into it, but I hear that there's like a huge amount of high quality, uh, unofficial uh, figures that people make.
Yeah. Just custom made figures that you just they have like some guys just bought like the Keely figure or like a standard figure from like Thousand Toys, for instance. Like those draw figures, you can just do a certain pose and then draw that. Yeah, they have Nia also made some of those, and then people just clayed. With clay they made the heads different, the body, etc., etc., etc. Made a custom GBE, and then you have a kitty figure, and then you have other figures that they make. So like, and people also made like way in the past, like 2005, 2002, also made like GBEs or like figures, some action figures, and just remold them to kitty or whatever characters. So like, yeah, and kids obviously garage kids. He also made for Pencil and other characters all the time. So like, yeah, I know there's a lot been fan made stuff over the years.
Oh, but not. I'm
For
not just talking about. Not just talking about for bling though. Yeah? I mean, like generally, like
like yeah, I mean, there's one guy that on Twitter that makes like different figures from different series, like from Kaina, Abra, Blame, Biomecha. One guy on Twitter that makes different figures all the time. Also Sanaka, Sibo, the Immortal, also like all kinds of figures that he made. Maybe you can find that.
like this. I find this is kind of interesting. Like like the fan comics. What they call them, doujinshi.
Yeah.
Yeah. These fan comics are better than plenty. Actual comics. And it's probably the
I
same thing
mean,
for models too.
it just depends like what goal you had on making those, but that's it can be sometimes they're better. Like from Joe Ventore, for instance, also made like kind of a doujinshi. I mean, he's a German artist, so it was like also completely different. But yeah. Let me see. Maybe I can find that one guy or not.
Oh, yeah,
But
you ever look into any Blame Dujinshi fan
oh yeah, I
comics?
have a whole collection of them, like from different artists,
So that so
all
any of
from
them actually
Japan.
any good, or I should check those out.
And the
Some,
majority are just fun to see, but not really that art wise that's mind blowing or anything. Or like,
but
I
do they
also
have
have
any
one.
interesting? But they have any interesting ideas though? Because
I
that is
mean,
something
one
that
made like an hentai version of Biomecha, so that's interesting.
ha,
Like,
well
that's a thing you could
that is
do.
like a that is an entire subset of Dojinshi on its own. I sure it have its own name, Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Most people think of doujinshi about hentai, not really like doujinshi as like a fan comic of an existing thing or just the original thing. But yeah,
okay. I didn't realize it was primarily that. I thought it was just a fan comic.
oh no,
I
it's
like that.
both. It's like doujinshi can also be used for hentai, but also just for like independent works, or like you take a work, a fan comic from an existing work like Blame or like fucking One Punch Man or whatnot, basically. You have also like fan comics from like certain events, like some guy M made like a comic for Angoulême 2019, which I also was at when I met Nie, got a signature, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, it was also a fun thing to do. So you can just go, you can go basically in comic style, you can go through the whole event in a comic. So like, I don't know, it's pretty nice or something like that. Uh, hmm, can't really find it now, but well. Hmm,
But what other comics you like, Karam?
I actually really liked X-Men versus Avengers. Yeah, it's a generic one, I know that, but it's fun to read. Uh, and the Injustice series are really good, I think. Uh,
Which one? Sorry.
uh,
Im-
Sorry, what?
what was that one that you mentioned? Injustice.
Injustice from DC Comics. Uh, this,
oh,
uh, it's really good, I think. Yeah, I know that it's generic. It's not has style. I don't know, but
No,
it's fun.
yeah,
I
I mean, look, sometimes mainstream stuff is good too. That is why it's mainstream. I mean, is there
some
anybody
stuff,
that
yeah.
hasn't seen Avengers? Like, uh, is huge. Like, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know. I had to check it out. Like, uh, yeah, yeah. Like, look at I would think that there's some things that almost kind of uh, they get elevated over time into high art almost like Barry Windsor Smith, Weapon X, the original Wolverine. That whole uh, kind of a classic run. I don't read too much Western comics, but like I still even I know about that.
Mhm, mhm.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah,
Any other
Western's ones are like has not a style, the American ones actually. But if I can find a stylish comic, I I definitely create a time and read that. For example, Black Sad. Black Sad is amazing. Uh,
uh,
you should check it.
yeah.
It
Yeah. Go ahead.
Black Sad from I didn't know the Wait a second. I don't know the artist actually. But
But is from what I know is detectives anthropomorphic detective.
yeah,
Detectives
yeah,
that are
yeah. Cat detective, and he's smoking cigars, and it's it's like Celeste Return. And I really like the color, watercolor style of this one. So you should definitely check that out. It's amazing. Yeah, it's stylish. It's not generic American stuff, and it's stylish. So yeah, it catches me. If you have a style, it catches me, so I can buy it. I am buying the style. I'm not buying the story. I'm not
right.
buying the great art. No, you don't have to draw amazing or perfect. I I'm looking for style, a uniqueness.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned it doesn't have to be perfect because a lot of people, including myself, all I could see is the deficiencies. Like oh, I don't, uh, I can't draw perfect anatomy. I shouldn't start anything until I do that. But then you look at a lot of work that isn't perfect, but it has a style and an impact. And it's super popular.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, there's some people that, oh yeah, well, everybody like Mobius, I'm sure you know about him. Um, but he's somebody I always go back to. Uh, are you
For
familiar with him?
inspiration.
Yeah, Mobius. Like he's an inspiration to a lot of people and a lot of things.
Mm.
Mhm.
Like it's interesting that sometimes there's like a niche thing or that is relatively niche, and but it inspires something that everybody knows. Like a lot of people in the West don't know about Ghost in the Shell, but everybody
Mhm.
know about Matrix. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I always find that kind of interesting. And yeah, this is a Blame inspired uh French
Yeah.
book.
German. Joe
German.
Fantore. It's like a combo between Blame, the first half, and then Bloodborne and Dark Souls, basically. So, like,
Mhm.
you see a lot of Blame architecture, creatures, machines, like, just level upon level upon level of structures, all kinds of stuff. It's like really detailed and like just really damn nice. I also have a physical copy of it, and
Oh,
and I also bought the ebook for it, so it could be translated and could be on MangaDex. So
nice.
yeah,
As usual, you the real MVP, as they say. There's a lot of
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that would be
For
left
niche
aside.
stuff, you could say that, yeah.
Well, you can't. No one person could save everything. You had to pick where you
No, no, it's
hope.
impossible. Like if
Like,
that
look,
would be the thing, and like there would be no hunting anymore for stuff for lost media or other stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, I
like look,
mean,
you handling all the blame and blame like things, and even that, which is relatively small, is impossible, nearly impossible. Because even you say there's some things that you never found, right? There's things that you heard
yeah, I
of, but
mean,
you didn't find them.
never found. It's like more interviews that I can't really buy because they never pop up. I know they exist, but I can't get to them, so I can't really buy them. So that's kind of a problem. Or like some stuff that's kind of lost. Like there's like a French interview from like 2002 from Katsuka. So big interviewer and like shares stuff, info, whatnot about animation, comics, whatnot, and he made an interview with Nie, and there's also an audio version of that from a radio. But that is now not online anymore, so
What the hell?
that I want to look. So that's a piece of lost media, kinda. if Katsuka has it at all. So that's kind of a lost me. So trying to get that, but I'm pretty sure only Katsuka has it because the radio studio is gone, and I can't really get anybody that worked for that. So like, yeah, it's a bit difficult to get it at all. And
Yeah,
like,
man,
you know,
it, it's funny you mentioned Katsuka because I've been looking for stuff that they had, and I just can't find it. It was never posted anywhere else. It was hosted on their site,
mm-hmm.
and the main site is down, and then the links on the Katsuka site no longer works, and the actual site that it came from is no longer up. So and some of
Not
them
even an
I'm sure
archive.
I've saved. Yeah. The archive just kind of links to the to like you know how they used to give you like to download a WMV or a
Yeah.
MOV. Yeah. So those links are dead. I guess they may have pointed to the original site, or maybe Katsuka hosted them in a way that it wasn't backed up. That's kind of a.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that we both came across that site independently because I've been following that site since I had internet. So maybe 2001 probably.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like this. I've been looking for like how sometimes there's unique trailers that never seem to appear anywhere else, and they
Yeah,
make
yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah.
like so I've been looking for some probably like Howl's Moving Castle. There's trailer variants that air on probably like one TV spot and is not included among the like the DVD trailers that they have sometimes. So I guess that's kind of a unique form of lost media.
Mm-hmm.
And like one interesting thing, like sometimes I see for live action movies, a lot of times the trailers have shots that never appear in the final film. You ever notice that?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's several shows that do that, that, like have stuff in the trailer and you just never see it again, or have stuff from a pilot in them, and the pilot is also gone, so you just only have the trailer for it, so you can't
I mean,
really find anything. Yeah, I know
and
that.
sometimes the trailer was only ever aired on TV. So
Mm.
uh, you're never gonna find that trailer unless somebody has like a VHS of it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Or it's just some DVD or some master tape, or that kind of stuff. That's just too difficult really to find.
Yeah, it's
Let me look up that one interview cut. Uh,
I'm surprised they were able to get him though. That's kind of amazing.
hmm?
I say I'm surprised that Katsuka was able to get him. That's actually kind of amazing.
Yeah,
That
and
they were
already in 2001, he already had an interview with him, and like he started in like 2000. I'm like, how can he go that far up to have an interview with like Storm Nie? But like Nie wasn't that big either back then,
right.
so
So that is the oh yeah, well you're nobody. Yeah, well you're nobody too. You know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you
So
can't.
it was easier back then to get an interview with the guy. Nowadays, it's like fucking impossible to get anything out of him.
Yeah, and that means Katsuka
Uh,
had good instincts. Katsuka had instincts to know that this guy is somebody we should interview. That's
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm like, he probably saw his works online or somewhere, and it's just like, yep, got to interview the guy, and like, because he already met him in like 2001, and then he made here in 2002, he made an interview with uh about that one meeting in 2001 and just how the works have been. He says this past 2 years, but it was like just a year ago that he was in an interview with him. But you know, and then we have here on the top, listen to the interview, real audio, but that's gone. That's just a piece of it that's gone. It's basically just the interview here in text, but the rest is just, yeah, the radio here down below is just
oh
gone.
man.
So Radio
Yeah, like
Monpais is, hmm?
you just say in real media. It's like oh yeah, that's something from the dark ages of the internet. Real media. Who
Yeah,
knows something like that.
yeah. Like it could be like that the interview was first put on a tape or something because it's 2002, but it was online, so there is an online copy of it. But who knows if somebody has stored it for like 20 years? But people have store weirder stuff for years and years, like obscure 70s anime, and then just kind of never want to show it again because that's pretty rare, and they want to keep it rare because the value that's on that stuff. So yeah, and that kind of
It's
stuff. So
like,
it's like sometimes it's really
but
annoying
okay,
to
but
Mm,
here's what's weird about that. Like they want to keep it to themselves to keep the value high, but then they would
yeah.
also never sell it unless
No,
somebody
he
else
just
uploads
wants the he just wants to
the
have the
idea of it.
title of like, oh, as something rare and obscure and nobody has it or knows about it or saw it, like, a sort of magic he wants to keep for himself. He just
Yeah,
wants to keep that,
that,
that value for
that
himself, not just in money, but
that's kind
also
of
like
like
for himself.
that's kind of like NFTs. It's like who would want this? It's only like a symbolic ownership, right? From what I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, basically it's just a drawing and that's it. And then you own it.
Right.
It's the only one in existence, but it's shit. So like, yeah. It's basically a scam. Like, yeah, yeah, you can't really do
Well, I
anything
mean,
with it.
the NFT could just be saved by anybody else, but I mean, you have the
Yeah, 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 yeah.
quote unquote
Basically,
ownership of it.
kinda, yeah.
So
It's just
in a way the I don't know if the animating is less if owning and never sharing your media is more or less crazy than the NFT thing, you know? Because like if I
mm,
describe that NFT situation to you, you wouldn't believe me. You would say this is ridiculous. Who is gonna do this? Nobody is gonna do this. It's
no,
not like to say it's like a piece that everybody could have pictures of, but only one person could own it, right?
yeah,
It's different than that.
yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm. By the
Yeah, but
way, Karam, have you been
Yeah.
on the Discord or on Reddit for Stomany and stuff?
Sorry, I didn't understand it.
Have you been on the Reddit r/slash Netsphere before for Stomany's works?
No, actually, I didn't. I don't know that. Is it a subreddit or?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a subreddit. Subreddit,
ah,
the biggest subreddit on these works. Like basically all of his works combined together. Basically, news,
nice, nice,
memes,
nice.
drawings, tattoos, anything.
Mm-hmm.
You could share
Nice.
your game even on it. Obviously.
Mm, I don't use Reddit actually, but we are
Oh.
using Reddit for our marketing. So I'm not
Ah,
using it for my personal,
use.
hobbies or something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, it's a good thing you bring up that. Yeah, I was supposed to mention. Yeah, definitely you guys had to look and see what subreddits would be appropriate for you guys, because some subreddits are like yeah, the mods are like super lame and people like oh yeah, advertising something, get out of here. It's so dumb. It's like, well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some subreddits are have some different rules, and I I don't understand the rules because
yeah,
they are so weird, and I need to show you my stuff, but I can't because it's mine. But if somebody post it, it's okay, but I can't post mine's mine. It's so
yeah,
weird.
yeah. Like
But
some
yeah.
sometimes what people do is they make like a fake account and be like, hey, check out this person thing,
Yeah, yeah.
check out,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you just
I
wanna.
am not that guy, I am not him. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know if you
yeah, yeah.
supposedly back in the day, Linkin Park did that kind of thing when they were now starting out. So they would go on forums and be like, whoa, check out this cool band, and they were the band, but they were posting it under, you know, music
Yeah.
lover 101 or whatever the hell it was. Yeah. So That is guerrilla marketing, guerrilla digital
Mhm,
marketing,
mhm,
Yeah, just and pretend to be something totally different, no speak English, uh, but
No
this,
comprendo.
yeah,
mhm.
and
Yeah, Reddit
definitely,
is a different place, and uh, it's hard to be part of it. So,
yeah,
uh,
believe me, yeah, I know, like some places, like one place I put my signature, but it had an art in it because it's also the Instagram, right? And they removed it because they say, oh, no website links on this thing. Like, yeah, but
mhm, mhm.
it's a signature, like it just happens to have the is is like it's modded by people who are this is the only authority they have, so they're gonna be lame with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It really is a powerful tool though, if you could wrangle it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, by the way, Karen, I
and
thought you had somebody else that would be coming on the stream, or was just like a quick idiot back then.
Sorry,
I
somebody
thought you
else.
said
Oh,
like last time that you had another guy that you also want to have on the podcast, but
uh, from Metaphor Games, or
yeah, 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 from the game.
you said Whiplash, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Actually, he is she.
Oh,
Yeah, uh, yeah. She is a little bit sick right now, so I am the only one.
oh, wait, so you're not Whiplash?
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
am not Whiplash.
oh,
Yeah,
I thought it was the same person this whole time. Okay, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Actually, I was using her laptop to. Uh,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
you.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, Discord is banned in Turkey for no reason, and
Oh, weird.
I was using her laptop to write you, and I am not
Mm,
Whiplash. I am Vermin Devourer in Discord.
Okay, 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 okay. Cool. Yeah. What other news do we have?
what?
Also, Whiplash says hi to you
Hi.
guys.
Yeah, thanks, thanks.
Hello, hello. Why is it banned though? I don't know if you can make me out.
Uh, ben?
Yeah, why is
What?
Discord banned in
I,
because
I'm asking the same question actually. Yeah, it's actually for no reason. This is yeah, Turkey. It's a democratic republic, but the government has too many. They are um, they are iron fist right now. They are
oh
Mm,
they
mm-hmm.
can do everything, and they are not using their brain. They are using their iron fists
Uh-huh,
to
uh-huh.
uh,
Dictatorships.
some
that
guy
that that's yeah. Go
the
ahead.
so sorry.
No, I'm
uh,
sorry. I'm saying you to go ahead. Go ahead.
ah, uh, Actually, there are some illegal channels in Discord, and our government says we need to ban those
Ban it
guys.
all. I
Yeah,
mean,
but they can't reach the Discord to do that. And they said we can't reach the Discord, so let's ban the Discord. And
we don't
uh,
know how to understand it. Just banish it. It's like no big
yeah,
deal.
All right. Yeah.
yeah,
You know what? People could also plan criminal activities over phones and letters. We should ban those too. You know.
yeah.
Yeah, no more telephones. What's the point?
So yeah, actually, I think they are not so intelligent enough to solve this
Yeah,
problem. So
yeah.
yeah, it's sad, but
I mean, if they didn't understand the internet, would they just ban the internet altogether? We don't understand it, so nobody will get it. We're gonna have it.
It's all
yeah,
just a series
and
of tubes, and I don't like it. Ban it, ban everything.
If you don't
yeah,
like it,
You
ban
know,
it. Easy.
yeah.
I tell you, I don't know. And then they're gonna ask, oh, why is the digital economy that we trying to grow not taking off? You know, we
Mhm.
try, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the same thing here in Trinidad. You know, Trinidad is like literally a third world country, and
Mm-hmm.
they allow so much criminality to happen that they have so much restrictions on banking, and then they want to ask,
Mhm.
why is it that we're not bringing in foreign exchange? Well, you've made it impossible for people to do this. You've made it impossible
Mm-hmm.
by allowing criminals to do this stuff. Uh, like for example, nobody could get probably more than $100 a day from the bank, physical money, even if they have much more than that in their US account. You can't take out your own money as you wish in
Mhm.
US. You know, so like yeah, I definitely would share there on stupid governments. You know, who just so out
Mm-hmm.
of touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah.
it's
By
ridiculous.
the way, Baron, are you any big anime fan or were anime fan at all?
Uh, I sorry.
Are you an
Can you
anime
repeat?
fan?
Am sorry. Can you repeat?
Are you an anime fan?
Ah, yeah, my ears. Sorry. I actually, I really liked Attack on Titan. It
Mm.
was perfect, I think. And
Uh-huh.
I watched Dead Note. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I recently watched Pluto from
Ah, Pluto.
Netflix.
Yeah, yeah, those
Yeah,
are pretty good. Yeah, yeah, it's
yeah,
also seen.
yeah. I'm not an anime fan, but yeah, I'm trying to get in. I tried to watch Demon Slayer, but I didn't like it. So
Mm-hmm.
Demon Slayer is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Bit too
yeah, your
generic, I
sister
guess.
is demon now, so yeah, it's it's not a cool story. I think. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
what did you think of the ending of Titan? You know, I know it was kind of divisive for some people. What did you think?
Uh, Attack on Titan is a one of a kind story, I think. Actually, I don't like the early episodes actually because I don't like to watch a kid growing up because I'm not a kid anymore. So show me some adult stuff to watch. You know, Uh, I'm not mentioning some, nudity. Do not understand me wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I'm not like to watch some kids are fighting. Some kids are preparing to war because they are kids, and
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
a
yeah,
cool
yeah. You have
story.
lots of high school anime that going to battle or just cover
Yeah,
blood all the damn time. I'm like, yeah, sure.
yeah,
Right? You
but
just want to get on with it. Get on with it. You know, start
yeah.
start start in the middle of action. You know.
But when they grow up in second or third season in Attack on Titan, and yeah, the that seasons are actually the second one, I think. Yeah, the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I I I like it more, and
Mm-hmm.
also
Right.
the drawings and you know actually there is a scene with Levi and the Beast Titan. It's freaking awesome, uh, and I really
Yeah. I do. I mean, I know it's supposed to be like a bit of sweet ending, but I felt bad that that guy didn't get. I mean, he didn't get anything out of his life. He just apart from saving the
Yeah,
world.
was a
Part,
slave to his own freedom.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting. That's that's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, I mean, he didn't even, I, yeah. What did I think about him breaking his stoic character at the end there with that one outburst? I was some people didn't like it, but I thought it was an interesting thing to show that he did have all of these emotions then, if that makes sense. Like because for
Yeah,
the whole
yeah, yeah,
show,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't remember people names in movies by the way in shows. I don't remember anybody's. The guy. That is why I like a lot of these shows with all kind of color here. Yeah, the blue head one. The red. The purple. One. Yeah, that's. I have a hard time remembering names. But yeah, I didn't. I also didn't think the law would reach so far. But I know like that was kind of debate and switch because you're thinking this whole thing is going to take place in this small area. You know, and then it's
Yeah,
like this globe spanning adventure.
yeah. And even after they saved the world, people just turned to fascism, and then it turned to shit
Yeah,
eventually. So
yeah.
it's kind of like like being stabbed in the back somehow. But that's that's kind of how those things go. They want a strong leader, and then you know what is happening. You know what happens. But yeah, anyway, like by the way, for the demo of the game, Celestial Return, why part 6?
Because it's our setting, the Celestial Return setting is too long for a demo. So we thought
Mm.
that just cut the first five chapters and uh, we need to show the action. So yeah, I don't know. It's the right choice, but
Mm. I mean, for just
mm,
for
I,
a demo, and then just get the rest, obviously, later
yeah,
on. But
the
I
setting is
understand
too
what.
long actually. Maybe we can cut the setting like to half, and I don't know. We are actually thinking about this daily.
will there
I,
be any
I
references to all the works, like Biomaker or Blame or whatnot, or like secrets, Easter eggs, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually thinking about to maybe we can put the gravitational beam emitter to some
Ah.
place to I don't know. We are actually thinking about that too.
Like an hidden save, for instance, and
Yeah,
there's the
yeah,
GB or something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Or some
yeah.
underground lab with like the making a GB and here's the prototype or some stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm. I mean, it's good. It's a fun idea, obviously. I mean, other games have done that too. Like even games that have nothing really to do with NEA, you still have a GB in somewhere, some references to him. So like, yeah, it's fun stuff. Like lots of projects have been made over the years, but like none of them really have took off like an actual blame game or like other stuff. It's more like stuff that's inspired by it that actually gone off and done anything. But the majority of the time, they just make a project, but then run out of money or have no interest or have no time, etc., and just it dies out immediately. So let's hope for your game that doesn't happen, or else we just stuck with a demo of like part 6.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely do some make some blame Easter eggs to put somewhere some to some secret places. Maybe we can think about to create some another Easter egg for from Blade Runner. I'm thinking about that too.
Yeah, for
But,
sure.
but yeah, these will be our Easter eggs. So I don't think I shouldn't need to talk about these. So
I mean, you don't need to spoil everything, no.
yeah,
Really, you don't really need to go that far, else, like, what's the point of the game anymore if you know everything already?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Just say, keep an eye out for whatever your favorite thing is that you want to see in a game. There's an Easter egg for it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if anybody says asked if something is a reference to something, even if it isn't, just say yes. Yeah. I'm glad you found that. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Like this podcast, for instance, that could also be in a game. I was just joking, though. I don't really need to be in a game or anything. Like,
Yeah, maybe we can create a new NPC and call it Mori, and
more. I mean,
maybe
it is a character in Blame as
yeah,
the
yeah,
pendulum that Kitty wears for like a couple of chapters. So, like, yeah, it's a
yeah,
thing. You could literally do that as a Blame reference, and then you have automatically also, and then yeah, you have like the pendulum. Yeah, the main character has to wear the pendulum, and then the pendulum says like, "Oh yeah, I have a podcast stored on here, like from ages ago, like or something like that." I don't know.
That
Also a fun
that'll
idea.
be
But
yeah yeah, totally natural. Totally natural way to insert it. You know. Uh,
yeah, okay.
nobody's gonna be nobody's gonna be suspicious. What the hell is this? What is this? Is this game malware?
What is this
What are they
podcast?
trying to get me to buy?
What are you trying to get at with this? Something like that. I don't know.
Oh, by the way,
Oh well.
what before I forget, what engine are you guys doing? Using and
Unity,
what
Unity.
Unity? Okay, so
Mhm.
uh, I know some people had kind of turned away from that for a while, but it's still a good engine, like for somebody looking to get into stuff. Uh,
Yeah. It's. I think it's a good starter engine to make games, and if you want to make a visual novel, yeah, you can find another visual novel engine. But if you wanna create a 2D basic game, you can definitely go to Unity. But if you wanna
okay,
make lights perfect and really good optimized 3D game, yeah, you can choose maybe Unreal.
Unreal. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I've always
Mm.
wanted to well, I only know 2D, so
Hmm.
I guess I'll have to try Unity. I hear people talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Godot, I think it is, but
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
even though Unity, uh, I think they've reversed a lot of the bad decisions that they made. Um, and now they're taking steps to become, because I knew Unity as kind of the premier indie game engine, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm glad that they gaining back goodwill of the community from what I see. Uh, I think it's good, yeah. And it's still free to try out, right? And to make
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
a beginner game. Okay.
Yeah, if
So
you
how do they?
if you make two grants, you need to buy a Unity
Ah,
license. But yeah, if you
well,
make 2 grants to your game, yeah, you can pay $2,000 to Unity license too. It's not that it's I think it's cheap.
okay. Uh,
Mhm.
All right.
And
So
by the
so
way,
that, well, I mean, it's good for beginners because you don't have to pay to begin with. And if you actually make a good amount of money, only then you would have to pay.
Yes, that's it.
Right. Okay.
do you play any games or have played many games?
I'm playing Hearthstone right now, and also Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and I'm really like card games.
Yeah,
and
yeah, it makes sense for your game. It would be
I
turn-based kind of stuff.
yeah.
Mhm.
You ever played Loop Hero, by the way?
No, but it's on my checklist actually. I will check
Yeah.
it out. Yeah,
Actually,
Loop
not
Hero, right? Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, Loop Hero. Yeah, I actually
Mhm.
not familiar at all with card games except for that one because it was so simple, or at
Mhm,
least
mhm.
it appears to be simple. Well, you know how these games are. You know, oh yeah, this is all there is to it. Yeah, no, it's not all. You know, there's it's, it,
Mhm, mhm.
it, yeah, it's interesting. You know, it's like cards is a known mechanic, a popular mechanic, and then these guys using it in like a unusual and interesting way.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
yeah. Oh, I know another big card. I think Slay the Spire was another big card game.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Slade Spire is also really great game, and Balatro is really good. And actually, I have a game collection on my arms.
Yeah.
I have
All
too much
characters.
tattoos on my arms about
Mm,
video games. Actually,
mm,
I have two Diablo tattoos. I have a Elden Ring tattoo on my arm.
mm,
Also, I have Frostmourne from World of Warcraft on my arm. Bioshock Infinite. Yeah, too much. Yeah, yeah.
no
Also,
Nia?
no, not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need money to more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
to
all.
have more tattoos because yeah, tattoo is a expensive hobby.
well,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
good,
Yeah. I mean, if the
good,
image is
good
bigger,
tattoos.
then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good tattoos, you know, because I know a guy that'll do it for, yeah, somebody was just not telling me. Yeah, they used to pay like a guy, like, you know, like a beer and a pack of cigarettes, and he would do a tattoo for them with some kind of like prison method, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Don't do that.
so
Don't
not
do that.
not that guy, not that guy. You
Yeah,
know, we
yeah.
need a yeah. You're probably like a tetanus injection after that, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So be careful.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's yeah. Soon you run out of space, you know. Soon you'll need another arm.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
By the
So
way,
yeah,
have you heard of Scorn?
Yeah, yeah.
Like in style of Geiger. Ah, okay, okay, okay.
that's that's a. I think that game is more of a is more of a art piece. I think a digital
Yeah,
art piece. I don't think
yeah,
that is
yeah, yeah. It's a really an abstract game. It's more about the world than the actual gameplay. It's like you can just spare enemies. You don't have to kill them all because but when they released it and how they marketed it, you thought it would be like, oh no, this is gonna be an epic Doom like game. You
yeah
have to kill monsters, etc., etc. But like, no, you can just spare every monster and just get away easily
yeah.
without killing anybody.
I think the marketing was a lot of people found it to be deceptive because it looked like it would have more action than it did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, and there's nothing wrong with the game being what it is, but tell people
No,
what it
no,
is.
it's just the marketing didn't really work, and people's expectations were just like a bit too high up there to really
Yeah,
work.
you know, and I like violence and gore and stuff in games, but even I can't handle it. It's a little much for
Yeah.
me. You know, like I could
Mm,
only look at it in short bursts. You know, I really wish,
yeah.
that Giga could have lived to see it. Uh, you know, because I feel like this is probably in in all of media, this is probably the biggest realization of everything that he used to imagine in a way. You know, because I mean, like Alien is aspects of it, but in this game, it is the entire game. You know, every
Yeah,
idea,
it's just
you know,
walking around in world like Blame, like always works. It's just it's not the action is not the main focus. The world is the main focus.
Yeah, yeah.
and everything is some sort of a orifice, each more frightening than the last, it's
Yeah,
really kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
amazing,
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
True,
oh, by
true.
the way, Karen, I'm glad you actually like Bioshock Infinite. A lot of people didn't like it, but I thought the action was the best that they ever had in the Bioshock series. Even if the story, maybe
Mhm.
I think people didn't like the story and the simplification of there's no menus, there's no
Mhm.
inventory, But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's actually my
and I think
favorite game.
yeah, it's and I think that is a game that needs to be played with a mouse and keyboard because when
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah. Of course, yeah.
yeah you could you imagine using a controller when you're on that line going all over the place? You're never gonna shoot anybody. It will be impossible with a controller. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that is a mouse and keyboard game. Yeah.
yeah. I'm not a controller guy too.
Yeah, I trying to explain that to people. I say, look, you just point at the thing that you want to kill. Why is this hard to understand? It's like, you're training with spreadsheets and shit. This is putting it into action.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, everybody noticed. Wasn't this guy like murdered or something? He was murdered by somebody that,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
owed
In
him money.
2005, he was murdered by a neighbor that was like borrowing like 100 euros or something like that, and then he
Yeah,
got
yeah.
stabbed like
You
30
know,
times.
it's sad that he was killed, and it even sadder that it was something so stupid. It wasn't even something crazy. It wasn't even a satanist break into his house and
Yeah,
sacrifice
yeah, but they
him.
didn't
You know,
like each other from the start anyway. It was not just the $100. It was just probably just like over years. They just hated each other and just, you know,
so wait, he,
the guy
he didn't
snapped
like the
and then
guy.
it went south.
So the neighbor didn't like the guy and
Yeah,
still
they didn't
borrowed
like
money
each
from
other.
him. No, but
Hmm?
he still lent him money. That's the next thing.
Yeah,
Why did that
yeah.
happen?
I guess he did, Marty, and then it just went done.
You know what?
Like,
This feud is coming one-sided. I think it's only the neighbor didn't like the Kinski. You know,
yeah, well, I
but
don't really know the history all that well together. I just know his works. I know he started out as a in photography, made lots of photos, but got criticized for it because his photos were just so different from the rest at the time, a bit more risque. And then he went on to paintings, and then you got these. Then he went over to the 90s. He got more like try to work with like the technology from the time with photos again, but it just didn't really work because it wasn't really um worked out or like was developed that well. And then he went back to painting, and then he lost his life. And then his paintings got in the local castle, got a permanent place, and he got a Red Cross also as a monument to him. So like, yeah. And I'm trying to collect the
uh,
art books naturally, but the
he
majority is
he
being
didn't.
printed now as pockets, which are like, why would you put big paintings in small pockets? You want big pages to.
Right, and this is exactly the kind of thing you want portable to pull out on the train for everybody to see. This is
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess it's like it's cheaper. Obviously, it's like yeah, these kinds of mini books that they're selling now. But I want the big books, obviously, and they're getting a
yeah,
kind of hard to get, like all the parts. So I'm slowly but surely trying to get them all, just for the collection because kind of
yeah.
need them.
Oh, Kerem, I'm sure you know, but you already probably have it planned, but you definitely need to put together an art book with the game. Just as an
Yeah,
added
yeah, yeah.
bonus. Plus includes art book. Because I think people are gonna want to look at all those sick drawings on their own.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Actually, I opened the DLC page for our art book, but it's closed I don't know. It's how Steam works, but I don't know. The DLC page for art book will be available on the release of the game. But yeah, and actually, if you sign to our email list, we are sending to this art books demo to our
Subscribers.
yeah, subscribers. And yeah, and actually I have a printed version of the art book, the smaller one actually, but it's for me and for investors right now.
Yeah, yeah, I know that.
Mm.
That kind of stuff. I know that stuff is very expensive. Believe me.
Yeah.
It's not a. Yeah, take it from somebody in the third world. Is
Mhm, mhm.
small batches of stuff is expensive. Yeah. Oh, but before you go, I think we're coming up to the time. How is the 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 indie game scene in Turkey, and are all the members in Turkey, or are they from all over the place? You know.
Uh, for general speaking, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I'm just buying indie games right now, and I think recently I didn't buy any AAA or 2A games. Actually, I'm thinking, but I
Mm.
know I really like the amateur stuff, because I can feel the soul in it. So I am a really indie game guy, and I'm liking the scene, and also Steam is a really good place to post some indie games because the algorithm is really helping to reach the community and the customers. It really helps in the studio. So yeah, if you want to make indie games, you need to post it on Steam, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, by
And
the way,
uh, well, I just want to ask: is your team all located in Turkey, or are they? I know a lot of people, especially in the games, they have people from all over. You know,
We are all living in Turkey, yeah, because in
okay.
Turkey the salaries are lower than Europe and America. So yeah, actually I can't pay an European salary to a guy living in Europe because it's it's hard to pay with Turkish liras.
Right. Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. 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 We have the same thing here in Trinidad.
Mhm, mhm.
Uh, more likely people here might be hired, but they wouldn't be able to hire anybody because of the. I mean, like one TT dollar is. It's probably like about $7 TT to $1 US. 7 to 8 or 9.
Mhm, mhm,
So
mhm.
yeah, it's quite.
Yeah,
I can understand that. Yeah.
yeah, it's a competitive advantage for us actually because we are paying less. Yes, that's a bad thing. I know that we are paying less to get same thing. So
mm.
Yeah. And
yeah, I know that's bad, but it's Middle East,
well,
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah.
and you get to say that you have something that was made in Turkey. Like it's not.
Mhm.
It is
Yeah,
a
there's no
product of this
many games
country. This
from
is this
Turkey.
is yeah. This is a. Uh, have there been many games that were made in Turkey? Actually, now that they bring it up, I don't. I'm not familiar with Turkey as a game developer. Are there any other game teams in Turkey?
Uh, did you play Mountain Blade?
Oh man, well yeah, that is a huge
Yeah.
game. Okay,
Oh,
I actually didn't know it was Turkey. Okay, okay.
yeah. Also, maybe
Hmm.
you played Supermarket Simulator, Liar's Bar, and
Supermarket Simulator. Yeah,
yeah,
okay, I heard of that.
they are also from Turkey. And actually, the scene in Turkey is growing really fast
Mm.
because investors saw that uh, it has growing, and it has um, it it's hard to tell in English. I but
Mm.
um wait a second, let me think that it's a growing market in Turkey. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
that's good. I mean, this
yeah.
is probably the only industry that is growing in the world right now. There's not a lot of them, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
because a lot of other stuff is shrinking, and people the entertainment maybe I guess is one of the few things that's growing.
Mhm, mhm,
Mm.
And what people and what I like too is that back in the day, the stuff that you were doing would probably need an entire computer to produce. An entire team of computers, a room of computers,
mhm,
a
mhm.
building. And now so much more is achievable. It always kind of amazes me that, I mean, even 10 years ago, you know, much
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it
yeah.
20 years ago. 20 years ago, it would have been unimaginable. Uh,
Yeah.
so now is, yeah, and
Yeah.
you don't need you guys have a physical office, or you collaborate online, or how is it done?
Yeah, we have physical office, but it's actually Whiplash's house.
Mm.
So yeah, we transformed her house to our office.
Ah.
So yeah, and
Okay,
now
okay.
she has not a house. She has an office.
Mm.
So,
Okay.
Just one
So
house,
what it
one
really
office.
is,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
it's actually an office that she lives at. It's not a house that you work at. You know.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Um,
understand.
by the way, with your band, if you don't make any money from it, how can you travel then in Europe for your
Because we have a job, so to make
and
money.
that pays for that? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Also, we are definitely make money, but it's not good enough to uh, build build a life to it. You know,
Mm.
we are making money, and
But
we
no,
are,
no.
yeah, not enough. So yeah,
Okay, 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 okay. Cool, cool, cool. Well, we're around 2 hours now, so well, thanks for stopping by for uh for the podcast, and yeah, maybe we see you in in March or something like that. We'll see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We need to plan it. So I definitely want to meet you face to face, actually. So yeah,
Sure, man.
uh,
Sure.
thanks for having me, and nice to meet you.
Yeah,
To you guys. So,
yeah,
yeah,
thanks for
You
being
too.
here,
You too.
and well, we'll see you like in 2 weeks or something. So bye for now. Bye.
yeah,
Later.
yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.